beautiful souls. It is Jessica Williams. I help you and motivate you in knowing your worth and understanding that you're not alone through the process of whatever you're going through. I mostly help people through spiritual awakening, empath struggles, and traumatic experiences because they are all kind of very similar and very related. I want to start off, I'm no expert. I am just going through this process as well, and I am here to help you understand that it is not a journey that you have to continue to just make yourself try to find the answers. Is this what I'm supposed to do? I don't know. I got to find all these answers. I got to find out exactly what it is that my abilities are or exactly why I'm feeling this way. Just breathe. Breathe and understand that you are not alone. You are not going crazy. And if you've been going through a hard time, if you've kind of been feeling down, if you've kind of been feeling blocked and just unmotivated, understand that a lot of us have. There is several reasons for that, and in this video I'm going to share with you 3 things to do to get unblocked and to embrace your true power. I'm not saying that, you want to go out here and you want to, make videos or do whatever, but just know that if you have a calling to do something more and you want something bigger than you can even really imagine or kind of understand yourself, then know that that's your soul, that's your higher self, that's God telling you that that's what you're supposed to do. And you're not going to understand it completely at the beginning. You're not. And I have tried. Even after my first video, I'm like, oh my goodness, now what do I do? I have that first video out there and it's like, okay, what's next? I kind of went through some other things, and the energy has been just very taxing on me lately, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta get out of this. So I'm gonna share with you some of the things that I have done to help myself get unblocked. For one, it is to understand that you will not have all the answers. Do not try to find all the answers. You will not be able to find all the answers right now, and that's okay. But the one thing that you can do is just trust. Really trust. And if you're feeling stuck and you don't know what to do, you have so much going on and you're like, why can't I get unstuck? Why can't I get out of this feeling? Well, sometimes as empaths, we have to understand that we're not always feeling our own feelings. And that to me has been something that I struggled with. I sometimes would be like, I was just feeling fine. I was feeling great, and I don't really have a lot of people around me. I like my alone time for sure, but I didn't have a lot of people around me. So I'm like, what am I feeling? Well, I had to understand that I wasn't just feeling, people that I knew's energy or, people that are around me. Sometimes I was feeling other people's energy, the cycles energy. I'm a Cancer, so my sign is ruled by the moon. So the moon does really affect me, and it just understanding those things is something that will help you a lot. And a tip for getting through those experiences and those just, I don't want to get out of bed, I feel like I'm worthless, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I've been through so much. And a lot of times us as empaths, we are what you call the wounded warriors. And that is a very, very hard thing to deal with, because even when we are alone, which we do normally, most empaths like their alone time, but you don't want to spend too much time alone. You don't want to isolate yourself, and you don't want to just make yourself be this homebody that just doesn't ever go out into society, doesn't, isn't an extra, because you can be either or. So number one, as I said, was to understand that you're not going to have all the answers at first. And I was so bad at that. I wanted all the answers. I wanted them now. I wanted to know exactly what I needed to do. I wanted to know, what am I really? Like, I already knew the veil had dropped. I already know that I'm different. I know and have accepted those things, but it's really, really letting that healing process happen. And that's whenever you open yourself up to understanding more and more. But the healing process, trust and believe, it's not just oh, hey, I'm healed, it's done, it's over. No, it's a continual process. It's something that you work on every day. And especially for those of us that have been through a lot. Like I said, the wounded warrior, the empath that has went out there and just tried to save everybody and, just give their all. And then they've never really had anybody there. So then they start attracting those bad relationships, those people that have addiction issues because they feel like they got to save them. For me, my family, and ever since I was very, very young, I went to foster care when I was younger, and I got back with my mother later. I watched my mother, my sister, my father, everybody that I cared about and loved, most of my family, they disappeared into people I didn't know. And I had the ability to know that even if they were hurting me, I had the ability to alchemize and to turn, their pain, or not their pain, but their actions that were hurting me into, seeing their pain. I knew that they weren't trying to hurt me, so then I would just go try to save them, fix that. I knew they were doing wrong. I knew that but I knew in my heart I had to help them. But then after that, it was like I felt so alone. I was always the rock ever since I was 12 years old. And, that can be very, very hard whenever you're basically, you're forced to grow up way too quick. So then, that inner child in you it's damaged. And no matter what, you have to understand that needs healed. In order for you to have that confidence, in order for you to feel the self-worth, sorry, I cannot talk today, guys. You have got to understand that you have got to heal that. You have got to understand that it's okay to feel love. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to trust other people. And so many of us that have been that wounded warrior that have went out there and just tried to save everybody and help everybody, we retreat. It's basically like we give all of our light away. We go and we shine our light, we give our light away, and then we retreat into the darkness, and we feel alone, we feel alienated, we feel empty. And it takes us a while to come back from that. So number 2 is going to be to set boundaries. You have got to set boundaries and understand your self-worth and work on yourself. That is not selfish. That is not something that you should feel bad about. It's something that is very, very needed. You are and will be so fulfilled after completing this process. And it's not an easy one because, going through that process for me, it was very, very taxing and very, very hard. So I will say that it's not an easy process, but you need to understand you can't save everybody. And especially if they're not even ready to receive that help, then you're just going to keep going and keep doing it and keep doing it. And then you're just going to keep being hurt, keep feeling alone, keep feeling unworthy, keep attracting those same type of relationships into your life, into adulthood. And you're going to want to save them, and then you're going to, recreate that toxicity in other relationships, not meaning to, but you're going to end up just getting more and more hurt. And number 3 is to truly understand and love yourself. And to do that is to accept that you are and will be different. You are different. It's okay. And sorry guys, the video got interrupted. I stopped on basically saying that you need to heal yourself because it is very important for your soul to grow. And in order to be able to come into your full purpose and do your full potential, it requires that deep, deep healing. And a lot of times when we've been through a lot of traumatic experiences in our life, we, as children, it is our mechanism to survive. Empaths, we are activated at a young age to make sure that we're going to survive those traumatic, crazy experiences or those painful things that happen. But as we grow older and become adults, it becomes our poison, because the armor that we put up as children to try to protect our sensitivities and our emotions become something that we kind of put a block, a shield, an armor, and we just put that armor up and we don't really let anybody in. Even if we feel like we're letting people in, we're not really letting them in. And I think that you guys understand what I'm talking about. You can be around people but still feel completely alone. And, being sensitive and empathic and loving and caring and nurturing, you want that in your life, but then it's also like you push it away because it's always caused you pain. And that is something I understand more than you know. But to continue on with the third thing to do to resolve your blockages is to understand that those relationships that you've been through, those traumatic things, they were all for your soul growth. As that saying goes, how is gold made? Under a lot of pressure and fire. Out of that comes something beautiful. And that's what you have to understand. Out of the most tragic and painful experiences, that if you've never tried to hurt anybody, you've always, either just walked away and not tried to hurt anyone else back or do anything that you wouldn't want done to yourself, know that God, the universe, that's going to come back to you. That good karma, and it's that time. But you have to let yourself heal. And another thing is, like I said, that armor that we put up, we have got to understand that we needed all that. We needed all that to evolve. We needed all that to be able to wake up. I mean, that's what caused it. Our soul growth is what sparked our awakening. So if you can look at that as something that needed to happen and something that is actually a blessing, because some people aren't awakened right now and some people want to be, and some people aren't going to be in your life. Some people that you talk to about they're not going to understand it, and that's okay. Hopefully they'll still be supportive of you, but it doesn't mean that, if they're not, then that's just something that you will experience and you'll get through. One thing that I want to go over with you is that, anytime that we're doing these soul growth, this healing, we have to understand that through conflict, it can obviously create separation. And when we've experienced a lot of different relationships in our life that have created those similar situations, we begin to feel like we're not worthy, or like I said, we have that armor up. But also through conflict can come unity and growth. All of the things that you've been through are what inhibited your growth. It catalyzed your growth. And your soul evolved because of all the things that you've been through. And especially if you've been that person that still stayed true to yourself through those hard times, then that is definitely something that has grown your soul into who you are today. And so often we want to, cause blame, retaliate, a lot of people do. But for most of us empaths or spiritually awakened people, we don't want that. We would just walk away. But sometimes even when we walk away, people don't accept that. And then they still want to cause harm. They still want to cause pain. And that causes us a lot more pain and not understanding and feeling, completely just, depleted because we don't understand how somebody could be that way. But you have to also understand that you have to forgive. You can't hold on to that. You have to heal that, because all of the relationships you've went through, all of those things have grown you. And through that growth, you have to be able to find the fact that everybody just wants to be seen. Everyone just wants to be heard. You got to try to find the innocence in that in order for you to be able to forgive and grow and evolve. So I hope that this has truly helped you. I want to add one more thing to this. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict. It's a lot harder because of all of the armor, all of the shields we've put up, all of the things that we feel like we have to protect ourselves from, because if we don't, then, it could destroy us. But I'm not saying that you have to let those people around that have really, really tried to destroy you and tried to physically harm you, but you can still pray for them. It's really hard to hold on to resentment and pain from other people if you pray for them. And like I said, God and the universe, they will reward you for staying true to yourself. So just keep that motivation, keep going, and until the next video, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share. I would truly love your guys' support. I really, really appreciate it. And like I said, it's just me on this journey, and I'm going to be posting more videos. I'm going to have some videos about my children, kind of with diagnosis and stuff like that I've went through recently, and kind of my own perceptions and beliefs on different diagnoses. I have a 6-year-old and a 13-year-old. So please like, subscribe, and I will see you then. Thank you guys.